Uh, cool.
Okay. Well, what Josiah saw is intense, it's scary, it's thrilling. Was there something about Eli or about the film itself that really drew you to be a part of this one?
Sure. Yeah. No, all of those things. Uh, original story, unique structure. I love that it was, had these three distinct chapters that, were, like, three, individual films, standalone stories. I was reading the thing, just like, how does this connect? How do these stories connect, just as a reader. So I imagined that the audience, in watching would have the same, kind of, uh, you know, questions and, and the same kind of, it had a lot of mystery to it. Um, and the role was just, role was great. I love the character immediately, and saw that it was going to be just a whirlwind, just it, his the drama in his life. It just, it starts out dramatic, and it just, gets more and more hectic, as this day goes on, and um, so I knew it was going to be fun to do, and yeah, and then of course, the rest of the cast: Robert Patrick, um, Scott Hayes,
Scott.
Kelly. Yeah, I mean all the smaller roles too, all the supporting guys, Ronnie Jean Blevins, and um, you know, um, Luann Stevens. There was just, everybody. Even these little roles, they, Vincent did such a great job in casting. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of a no brainer to do this one for me.
Well, we learned with the movie the secrets that are revealed throughout the entire film about what's been kept out, buried secrets, I should say. What kind of relationship or at least backstory did they give you in regards to Josiah and Eli as a familial relationship? Obviously, they're their father and son, so, but what kind of
Yeah.
relationship did they tell you was going on between the two of them? What kind of history do they share?
Um, you know, Pretty much what was on the page, and what you see in the film. That sequence where they have their happy family reunion there at the end. It's kind of laid out the history and what they went through as kids. I mean, that's the information that I had. You know, Eli and Mary are physically distant from the farm, from their dad, and it was clear that, especially with Mary's character, but it was clear that they just wanted to distance themselves from their childhood, from their past, any way they could. And then Tommy, has a you know, different, different experience, obviously, and um, he can't really uh, do that, like, in the same way. But yeah, it just, I just saw the farm and the family and their childhoods is just this thing that, I've tried to get away from, my whole life, but obviously, it follows them. So
Well, Vincent and Carlos Ritter actually does an incredible job with the cinematography
yeah,
for this particular film. When you
yeah.
actually got to watch it, what was that like for you, getting to see all the beautiful nuances that were added and the how much intense? I think the cinematography makes it even more intense than basically when you've read the script and you see everything on the page and
Yeah,
you know what's going on with the storyline. But I think the cinematography just adds it another level.
totally. I was really impressed with how the movie looked. And I told Vincent, you know, when I first saw it, I was like, man, every shot looks like a painting in this movie. And what a cool kind of bonus, you know, to such a good script in a genre that you normally don't see that level of cinematography, I would say. So it really does. Yeah, no, it adds so much texture. And as an actor, you know, you're on the other side of the camera, so you don't really see, you know, as you're filming, you know, what's you know, the how the shots are lined up, and you know, colors obviously, and things like that. But I was blown away, you know, in watching it, how it looked. So yeah.
Well, there's we talked about the intensity to this. How did you shake off a long day of filming with so much adrenaline running through your veins at that point?
Hmm. I was worn out. I was exhausted, you know. So um, you know, that you know, we you know, when you have like, you know, not big budget, you know, filmmaking, you know, you have time constraints, you have you know, on location. I think the whole crew was, you know, at the end of each day was ready to pass out. So that helped, you know. And then you just kind of enjoy it the best you can, you know. And it was a great group of people to work with. And so, you know, those things all help, you know, kind of leaving all that on set, and then just kind of, you know, enjoying your weekend, you know, and things like that. So yeah.
What do you think it is then about what Josiah saw that's going to make it a fast fan favorite horror thriller film?
um I think the story this is what's so unique in this particular film, you know. It's not your average horror movie, you know. And this, you know, it's just, you know, the structure is very unconventional. um you know, I read the script, and I was just, you know, it 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 was evident, like, just how unique this thing was. I was like, I've never read anything like this before, you know. And um you know, I think that the nature that the story unfolds is very unusual. And um and so I think people might be going into this looking just for, you know, kind of your average horror fare, and they're going to get something very different. They're going to get, you know, a really great story that's very beautifully told as well, you know. So
Yeah, there's such a great arc to it. I
yeah.
really appreciate getting the chance to chat with you about this one.